Welcome back. This segment is sponsored by Abbott Laboratories. So, the first person in the United States has just received the world's first dual-chamber leadless pacemaker. Now, pacemakers are designed to treat slow or abnormal heart rhythms. Now, this new innovation made by Abbott is roughly 1/10 the size of a traditional pacemaker, and for the first time allows two chambers of the heart communicate with each other wirelessly. Dr. Rajesh Banker, clinical cardiologist, electrophysiologist at Hoag Memorial Hospital, Presbyterian, shares more. The first person in the United States has just received the world's first dual-chamber leadless pacemaker system. Now, pacemakers are designed to treat slow or abnormal heart rhythms. This new innovation made by Abbott is roughly 1/10 of the size of a traditional pacemaker, and for the first time allows two chambers of the heart to communicate with each other wirelessly. Joining us today this morning about the game-changing technology is Dr. Rajesh Banker, clinical cardiac electrophysiologist at Hoag Memorial Hospital. He's here talking about it. Dr. Banker, this is a great technology. Welcome to Marketplace.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to talk to your viewers in Springfield about this new game-changing technology.
Now, tell us about the new technology and why this is such a game-changer right now in our society.
Well, it's a huge advancement in our space. Pacemakers fundamentally haven't changed for the last 50 years. And if you can imagine our world 50 years ago, we had telephones attached to a wall with a wire that we had to use. Nowadays, we can't imagine living our lives without this miniaturized cell phone that works wirelessly in our pocket. And this is the kind of advancement we're talking about in the pacemaker space, between that and this.
How do these dual-chamber pacemakers work?
Well, there's two miniaturized cylinders you can see right here. Each of these are about the size of a large pill, and one gets implanted in the top chamber of the heart, one gets implanted in the bottom chamber of the heart. Now, these devices will communicate wirelessly, beat to beat, via communication technology called eye-to-eye communication. They will talk to each other and adjust the patient's own heartbeat to be back to normal if it does slow down.
Dr. Baker, tell me about what makes this different from traditional pacemakers with leads.
Well, it's a huge amount of differences there, but we're going to focus on maybe three of the highlights. Now, these traditional transvenous systems had this little box here that would get surgically implanted under the skin with wires that would run down to the heart. These new devices are wireless, and therein lies the huge change, right? So without the wires were the main source of complications. The wires would either get infected, they would break, or they would obstruct the venous flow in the veins that they would travel through. When we remove the wires, we remove those complications. In addition, the implant itself is far simpler from the patient's perspective and a lot easier for them to get through. So we just feed these devices through the vein in the groin all the way to the heart, and we're able to screw them inside the heart. And there's no external evidence. There's no surgical pocket that's created for this device. There's no wires that we run in the patient's body. So they're able to actually leave the same day or sometimes the next morning, just with a single stitch in the groin that we take out before they leave, and with a much more simplified recovery. Because there's no surgical pocket, there's no surgical pocket pain to recover from. There's no arm restrictions for a month or longer. Instead of that, we're just asking our patients just to do no heavy lifting or exercise for a week and then resume their normal activities.
Very interesting here. Now, what does this mean for people who need pacemakers? And, of course, where can we get more information?
Well, what it means, just to take it back to a patient of mine, Jerry, who was an avid pickleball player and golfer until about a year ago, where he started to decline, couldn't do those activities, couldn't even leave his house without some shortness of breath. By putting this pacemaker in, he was able to return to a new back to his baseline state of life within a week. It's been an amazing story for him. And if patients do want to learn more about this technology, they should speak to their cardiologist or their primary care doctor. And that will be your best resource. Tell them, what your symptoms are, see if you need a pacemaker, and if you do, 80% of patients can qualify for this device.
Awesome. Dr. Rajesh Banker, thank you so much for this information. We'll see you next time.